What's up, YouTube? It's DarkworldMOFO here with the updated Dark World deck profile. I will be attending the Butler, Pennsylvania Regionals in 2 weeks, April 28th. And I'm going to show you the deck that I will probably be running. I might make maybe a few changes to it if I feel it's necessary. I'll be testing it at locals next Saturday, so I guess depending on how good I do there is depending on whether or not I'm going to change my deck. But yeah, I can get started with the monsters. I play 15 monsters. You play the 3 Grapha, 3 Snow, and 3 Browse. Play 3. I play 2 Beiges because I love being able to normal summon, bounce back for Grapha, and then if I have another Grapha in grave, I can special summon this guy and bounce him back, and then have him for next turn for the Graphas if they die. So I really like to play 2 of these. I also play 2 Silvas. I'm going to explain later because there's a trap card that goes with Silva, but he's a 2300 beat stick, and he is just, his special summoning ability is nice. Even if you can't bounce back for Grapha and you have the field spell, he's still a 2600. So he's still really nice for like big pushes like OTKs or something like that, and he's also good for the trap card, which I'll explain a little bit later in the video. And I also run 2 Trance Archfiends. I like this card. I like being able to normal summon it, discard any one of these, and if I have Gates in hand or another discard outlet, then I can either get the search, or I can get the special summon ability, or I can get the draw, or I can get the blow up ability. It's just really nice. It starts all your turns off, your plays, and when he's destroyed, I can target one of my Dark Banished monsters and add that back to my hand. So even if I needed to go Trance Archfiend, Torrential, and call Priority, and I already have a banished monster, I get my discard and a monster back in my hand, and if I have Gates, then he goes to the grave, and I can banish him for the Gates, and then pitch whatever I just discarded off of Gates. This card is really nice. I like it a lot. So that's 15 monsters. Spells. I play 3 Gates, obviously. I've seen builds with 2, and I was just like, even though they play the Malefic Stardust, I still feel like that card, playing 2 Gates is not smart at all. But I do only play 2 Dealings. I play 2 Dealings because I hate when I have a hand with a lot of spells and traps, and I have the Dealings, and I'm like, fuck, should I use this Dealings and hopefully draw a monster and then just automatically have to discard it? And then I think to myself, like, what if it's a trance? Then a trance goes in my graveyard. And next turn, if I had waited, I could have just drawn my trance and then had a monster. But if I did that and then I got the trance and forced to discard it, the next turn I don't draw another monster, I'm almost at a -3. I feel like this card's good at 2, just because you have 2 other discards and you play the 3 drag downs. 3 drag downs is amazing because you can set everything and then tear apart your opponent's hand, and you still get the discard outlet. So I really like drag down. And then the one-ofs, card destruction, obviously. Foolish Burial. Some people don't run this. I love this card. It gets you Grapha first turn. It can also feed your Gates if you need to use Gates effect if you're going for a really big push. And it also works with first turn Grapha and then the trap card, because you can just tribute the Grapha for it. But I'll explain that in a minute too. Allure, for obvious more draw power, and your banished monsters you can get back with Trance. I really like that. Especially if you're going Allure, draw 2, and then you banish a Brow. It's the same as the Dealings. Dealings is draw 1, discard 1, draw again. But all you're doing is banishing the Brow. I guess it's not as good because it doesn't feed Gates, but it feeds Trance. So then you know that even if you have to set Trance to wait 1 more turn and he's destroyed, you can still get your Brow back to your hand. Monster Reborn, obviously. Dark Hole, and Heavy Storm. I like Heavy Storm a lot. I know I have a lot of back row and a lot of spells, but it's nice. Even if you just have your field spell, activate it, and then you go Heavy Storm for their back rows, and then you have another Gates in hand or something. That's really nice to do. And then finally onto my traps. There we go. Traps, 3 Reckless, obviously. This card is amazing. Even just using one of them on your opponent's turn, if they MST it, you still get the +2, and if you have cards in your hand, you can get pluses for days, because Dark Worlds love to draw, and they love to blow shit up, and they love to have huge bushes. So this card just gets all your plays off, gets your plays started, and it's just It's just so nice in this deck. I really like it. And the two cards that I main, one Deck Devastation Virus and one Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Now, Deck Devastation Virus is tribute one Dark Monster with 2,000 or more attack, and you check your opponent's hands and all monsters they control and all cards they draw until their third turn after this card's activation, and destroy all monsters with 1,500 or less attack. So, you think about it, you have meta. You have Inzectors, Wind-Ups, and Dino Rabbits. All the Hornet is 1,500 or less. Dragonfly is 1,500 or less. Tour Guide, Maxi, Effect Veiler, Rescue Rabbit. There's just so many cards. Wind-Ups. Every single Wind-Up is 1,500 or less. Or the ones that are seeing a lot of play are 1,500 or less. And they all automatically go to the grave. So if I tear apart your hand like this first or second turn, you absolutely have nothing to do. And then guess what? If I tributed Grapha, Grapha comes back next turn. So then I have a huge monster and you have no monsters. And then Eradicator Epidemic Virus, it's the same except you have to tribute a dark monster with 2,500 or more attack, and you call either spell or traps, and then you check all cards in their hand, all cards that they have set or active on the field, and all cards they draw until their third turn, and whatever, if you call spell or traps, either the spells go to the graveyard or the traps. So if you think about it, you're playing TG Stun, you get this card off, you say traps, they have absolutely no protection, or any deck, they have no protection, it gets rid of all their stuff, all their Solemn Warnings, all their Mirror Forces, all their Tarantulas, all their Deep Prisons, all their Bottomlesses, on and on. And then if you say spells, let's say you say spells against either Dark World Mirror Match or Heroes. Heroes rely on their spells because they run 10 monsters. If they don't have their E-calls, if they don't have their dualities, they will never get to their cards. So if you just pitch all their spell cards into the grave, they absolutely have nothing to do. This card is so underrated, and that's the reason I play the Silva. Silva's 2,300 without gates, so he's an automatic Deck Devastation Virus target. With gates, he's 2,600, so that makes him an Eradicator Epidemic Virus target. So now I have 5 cards in my deck that are targeted for Eradicator to tribute, and even Snow with the field spell is a Deck Devastation target, and even a Trance after you discard him. If you had this card previously set, you could go Trance, discard, tribute Trance for Deck Devastation Virus, and you can just get all your plays off. These two cards are so underrated. I don't play Mind Crush. I play these instead of Mind Crush. I feel like if you get these off, instead of a Mind Crush, you get more pluses, because you get usually more monsters discarded, or not discarded, but destroyed and sent to their graveyard than just one Mind Crush. And you get to see their hand for the next 3 turns. You get to see what they draw, so you also have knowledge of what they have in their hand, and if you can attack, or if you have to be a little bit cautious, and you know if they have anything to get rid of your shit. And then Eradicator is the same thing. If you, let's say you wanted to Mind Crush their Heavy Storm. Oh wait, I can Eradicator their cards. Okay, look at their hand. You see Heavy Storm, you see Dark Hole, you see Monster Reborn, you see any spells, you see Gemini Sparks for Heroes, you see Dark World Mirror Match, all their dealings, all their gates, everything is gone, and it just destroys it for 3 turns. And especially if you get these two off at the same time, that's scoop phase. There's no way anybody can come back for this. 3 turns, both of the cards, most likely, if you call Deck Devastation Virus and you call Spell or Traps, they really have nothing to do. And then I'll finish off my traps. But yeah, I really love this card. I think it's underrated. I talked about Eradicator and Deck Dev in my ARG article. Big shout out to them. I also side the other skill. Oh wait, sorry. This is from my main board. Main 1 skill drain. Obviously, I run through my deck very much, so I don't need more than 2. This card is amazing right now. Solemn Judgment, obvious. Solemn Warning. I only run 1 Solemn because I do not like paying another 2,000 life points to negate something when I can blow it up with Grapha next turn, or I have 2 Tarantulas to also get rid of it. So yeah, I like to run 1 Warning and then the second Tarantula. And then I also run the Starlight for the protection. Starlight Road is amazing. I love it. Just being able to know that your monsters or spell and traps are protected, and even if they try to blow it up, you get a big ass Stardust Dragon. That's just really nice. Yeah, so that's my main deck. Did I do spells? Yes, I did. Alright, that is my main deck right now. I will show you my extra and side. My side deck. Let's see. Side deck. Obviously, I side 3 MSTs for game 2 and 3. I know they're going to have Shatter Imprisoning Mirrors. I know they're going to have Macrocosmos. So I side these. I put these in just to get rid of them, so I do not get fucked up. I also side 2 Spirit Reapers. I would like these to be gel and duos, but I do not have them, and I do not feel like spending the extra money just to get them. Spirit Reapers, just as good, in my opinion. I just like gel and duo a little bit more because it has the attack. But yeah, Spirit Reaper is really good. It lets you stall if you need to, and especially if you take out skill drains, then you know you have this card, and if you top deck it, you know you're protected for a couple turns, or they have to waste a valuable card just to get rid of it, just to attack. I also side Cyber Dragon, obviously for machine decks such as Windups or Machinas or Karakuris, anything like that. Contact Fusion is really nice. I side the Morphing Jar. I do not main it. I do not like giving my opponent 5 cards in their hand, especially if they don't have any cards in their hand. If they know it's a Morphing Jar and they set all their stuff or summon all their stuff and then attack it, they just get 5 free cards in their hand. Given that I get 5 cards in my hand, which is nice, but giving them 5 cards, especially when it's their turn, can really hurt. In my RG article, I also talked about Goes and Match. This card is amazing. This card is so good against the meta right now besides Inzectors. It's very good against Dino Rabbits. It's very good against Windups. It's very good against Heroes. I love this card all around. I play all Darks, so I really don't have to worry about any different attributes unless I Monster Reborn something from my opponent's graveyard. I also run 2 Royal Decrees. I know I run a lot of traps, but I can take those out if I'm playing Train Burn. No problem at all. I hate Chain Burn with a passion. It's just one of the most annoying decks. Any burn deck, any deck that has a bunch of traps, so like TG Stun, yeah, and any kind of stun variant has a lot of traps, especially Heroes. Second Skill Drain. I main one, side one. I most of the time side the other one in if I'm playing a meta deck. I also side the other deck, Devastation Virus, if I'm playing a meta deck. Most of the time I'll take out Eradicator if I really don't need it, but I'll definitely put in the deck Devastation Virus just because it's easier to tribute, you have more monsters to tribute, and it messes up their monsters. And I have Grapha to blow up all their back rows, and I have the Mystical Space Typhoons to blow up their back rows as well, so that's pretty much their whole field gone. I also side the 1 Dark Smog for the mirror matches, Hornets, Wind Up Hunters. I really like that card. And I also side 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. I would like room for 2 for mirror matches, Heroes, anything of that sort really, just to banish a monster. But I don't have room. I might find room. I might change around my side deck, but I do like my side deck very, very much right now. That's my side deck. Let me show you my extra deck. My extra deck is very small right now. The 1 Utopia, I have level 4s. I can go into this. I gotta get a Ray. Ray's only a couple bucks. I'll get that. The number 12 Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja. He's 2 level 5s. He's kind of nice. He can't be destroyed by, you can detach 1, and your ninja monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and he is a ninja, so he's safe for 2 turns. Stardust Dragon for the Starlight Road. Those are the 3. I gotta get, Chimera Tech for the Contact Fusion, and I gotta get Ray just for the late game, in need of help plays, or, Reborn a Utopia and go right into that. But, yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Ultra Reality Games, Vexicus4666. Shout out to Dueling Bunnies. Everybody else who I missed. Shout out to everybody in YCS Dallas. Shout out to anybody who will be in Pennsylvania, Butler, April 28th. I'll see you guys there. This is DarkworldMOFO. Out. Peace, guys.